Hello everyone, bonjour, bienvenue. It is Diane. We are in the beautifully sunny town of La Rochelle here in the Charente-Maritime. How's everyone doing today? Hope where you are, it's just as gorgeous where I am today. We've had rain, and more rain, and we're on the Atlantic coast here, and as you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely full of blue skies, seagulls, everything you could want in a beautiful April day. So as you're joining, please just comment down below. Let me know who's here. Let me know where you're watching from, and we'll get started in just a few minutes. Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. So for anyone just tuning in, again, this is Diane from the Living Abroad Lifestyle blog and Facebook page, We in France. That's O-U-I, we like yes in French. And as you're coming in, just let me know who's here. Let me know down in the comments. As you can see, it's beautifully sunny, so I can't say I'll see everything on my screen, but I'll do my best to reply. And just let me know what's going on today. We'll get started in a few minutes. This is going to post to the top of my Facebook page when we're finished. So if you're watching on the replay or you're watching live, you could catch the whole thing if you have to go at the top of my page. And please leave comments, interact with me, give me some thumbs up, hearts if you like what you see, because that lets me know who's out there and it's not just me walking around talking to myself. So that would be great. And I will loop back around to the comments probably late Sunday night my time and Monday. So even if you're watching on the replay, please leave me a comment. Joy, hello. Geraldine, hello. Great to have you guys here. And as I said, it's very sunny, and I don't know if I'll see every comment just with the glare on the screen, but I'll do my best. So we'll get started now. We have a few people tuning in. So as I said, we are in the Charente-Maritime department in France, and we are in the gorgeous Atlantic port city of La Rochelle. And I'm just going to pan around here to show you what kind of place it is. When you think of La Rochelle here at the Vieux Port, this is the money shot. This is what you think of when you think of La Rochelle. Just gorgeous buildings, so much history. There we go. So the plan for today is we're starting and we're ending here in the Vieux Port, the old port. We're going to head right in just a moment over this little footbridge. We're going to head into the old town. We're going to walk around these buildings behind them that you see here, and we're going to end up at the Grosse Horloge. That's the big clock there that you see in the distance, okay? So let me just turn the camera around real quick and let you know who the voice is that you're hearing. And that would be me. That would be me, covered up for the sun. But I'm Diane. Hello, everyone. If we haven't met, awesome to meet you. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. I know it's Saturday and we're all busy, so it means a lot that you're here. So thank you again. My website's weinfrance.com. That's O-U-I, weinfrance.com. And you could do me a huge favor, just as we get walking here, if you're listening, even on the replay, just hit share on your page. Whatever device you're watching on, you should be able to, let me turn this back around, you should be able to hit share in real time. So that way, new people who don't know what I'm doing can come over and join us. And that would mean a lot to me, just to help get the word out. So if you're watching, take a second now as we get started to just hit share so this shares while we're live with people that you're friends with. Hello, Christine. Great to have you here. Okay, so we're going to get walking. So for anyone wondering, as I said, La Rochelle is on the Atlantic coast. And I'm assuming the sound is good, right, guys? Geraldine, Joy, you could hear me okay, right? Mike is okay? Just want to check that as I start talking. Just someone tell me yes in the comments. Wait our turn here to go over the bridge. So we are on the Atlantic coast, about 470 kilometers from Paris. There are direct trains. There's even a direct plane now. There's a La Rochelle airport. And it's only about an hour flight, I believe about 90 minutes from London. So La Rochelle is a huge tourist center. An excellent place to take a weekend or even a week in the Charente-Maritime. We have the Ile de Ré, all kinds of excellent places to visit. I'll just show you the view of the port as we're heading out of here and heading around the other side. This is one of the most beautiful weekends, I think, maybe the first beautiful weekend we had the whole season. So you'll see a lot of people. Everyone's out and about, but La Rochelle is extremely lively, very gentle lifestyle is what the tourism office would refer to it as. People are out and about living life. And that's one of the things I love the most about La Rochelle. You know, sometimes you go somewhere, a tourist hotspot, and it's just tourists, right? You don't see any locals. You just see tourists. And then conversely, on the other side of the spectrum, you've gone places that are just devoid of history, not much going on. And it's just people working and then rushing home, going into their homes, and you don't really get a sense of culture or history. But La Rochelle, people are out and about, people go to work. It feels like a real place, you know. So in addition to all the tourists, you see locals, you see other French people from neighboring regions coming to just enjoy everything it has to offer, and I love that. It just feels super authentic to me, and I love coming here. So we're just heading down a little promenade here. There's been construction in La Rochelle for quite a while now, well over a year. So we can't walk right along the boats to my left, but I'll just turn the camera so you could see. They put in some public toilets over there, 50 cents a pop. You can go use those. Always a good thing when you have a lot of tourists. Hey, Philippe. Great to see you. Thank you for joining. Okay, so for anyone just popping in, again, it's Diane from the We in France blog and Facebook page. We're in La Rochelle in the Charente-Maritime, and we are going to do a little tour here on foot. I'm going to take you in the old port, around into town, share a bunch of things with you, and we're going to end up at the Grosse Horloge, the big clock, at the end. So I hope you'll stick with me. If you have to go, this is going to post as a replay to the top of my page when we're finished. All right. I'll just give you a little view here. And as you can see, there's cafes on the left and right where we were walking. Just full of cafes, and a lot of times they are full of people, especially when it's gorgeous like this. Okay, and just if you're wondering, the actual city here of La Rochelle is home to 80,000 permanent residents. So not a small city by any means. I mean, it's not Paris either, but 80,000, 80. And then the metropolitan area, the greater La Rochelle area, is home to a little more than double that, around 164,000 residents. Just so you can get a sense. I believe that Charente-Maritime is in the top 3 tourist hotspots in France. So it's well worth your time. Don't just take my word for it. It really is. Okay, so we're just going to cross the street. And you'll notice something here. You'll see some cars parked. But you're not going to see too many cars. What you're going to see are bikes, and that's because a lot of the areas are pedestrian only, except if you're dropping off bags for a hotel, or you live there, or you have a delivery. So always make sure to look left and right for people riding their bikes, and I'll say another word on the bikes in a moment. But where I'm facing now, to the right of where we were, there's the tourism office, there's the aquarium, and the aquarium is home to about 12,000 marine creatures. It's one of Europe's biggest private aquariums, and it's well worth a visit. On a sunny day, maybe you want to be outdoors, but even if it doesn't rain, it's still worth a trip. And there's also the Maritime Museum over there as well. If you're into boats, you can tour an old weather ship, and they've kind of staged it so it looks like what it did when it was out telling the weather in the middle of the ocean. Great time for those of you into nautical things. This is a giant Ferris wheel. And we're not going to go on it just because it'll take me 20 minutes to get on and go around. But I highly recommend that for the €5. You want to go up in there and you get great views overlooking the port, overlooking everything that La Rochelle has to offer. So if you have about 20 minutes and €5, definitely hop over. All right, and as we're crossing the street here, you'll see there's a brocante today. That's a flea market, an antique sale, and as we pass through, I'll show you a few things. Just take a look. Anybody into brocante? Give me a thumbs up or a red heart if you're into any antique shopping here when you're in France. I have 2 Etsy shops selling vintage myself, so it's all good stuff. And you could find kitchenwares, ashtrays, all kinds of things, handbags. Look at that. We'll go over to this table. Okay, all kinds of brass candlesticks, other types of metalware, old coins. And I could spend an hour going through the brocante, guys, but we're just going to continue because I have a jam-packed broadcast for you today. So I'll just show you over here, just since we're walking past it. I want you to know also, Any stores that we pop into, I've cleared that with the owners ahead of time. I'm not a fan of sneak attacks where we just surprise people. Hey, you're on live video. No, anywhere we go in, I have asked permission. And also, just as I say every time, oh, here's some books. Look at this. As I say, this isn't sponsored by anyone. I don't have any affiliation with any of the things that I'm going to be showing you. And of course, if that ever changes, I will let you know. But I'm just showing you things that I like. No affiliation with them. Look at this. And this is a old oyster wire oyster basket, and it says you get 12 of them for 100 euros. Not bad. Nice for a little decoration, huh? Okay, we're gonna cross the street here. Because like I said, I could probably spend an hour showing you everything there. Okay, so now we're crossing over to Rue Saint-Nicolas, and there's a fun store here on the right. And all their wares are made of sails from sailboats, and they have different brightly colored objects and all of that. So just give you a quick peek. All right. I'm just going to walk in the shade here so I can see what people are saying. Hey, David, nice to have you here. We're just getting started. And anyone, again, if you've just joined, what would really help me out if whatever screen you're watching on, you could hit share and share this while we're live so people on your feeds and your pages see what we're doing and hopefully join us. It would really help me get the word out. And if you haven't hit like on my page, do that. If you haven't subscribed to my newsletter on my blog, the sign-up box is at weinfrance.com. That would be excellent. And if you're new to my broadcasts, I started doing them about 2 months ago. We've gone to the city of Angers, seen the chateau, the cathedral in Angers. We've gone to a farmer's market. We've also toured a small town in Cholet, Clisson, in the Loire-Atlantique, in the Maine-et-Loire, where I live. And we've gone to the grocery store. So those are all linked in the description. And also, if you want to read more about La Rochelle, a post I did last year is linked in the description box. So when we're done, you can check that out. All right, so I know a lot of you are into real estate and just curious. So this is Orpi. They're a big franchise, I believe, in most parts of France. You'll see a lot of Orpi signs. And in La Rochelle, in the center, real estate does not come cheap, as you would expect. There are all kinds of listings here, different price ranges, different sizes, and they're all in meters squared. So there we have something that's 306,000. And this big 170 square meter house is 815,000. Looks nice. All right, let's keep moving. And also, if you're curious, the Charente-Maritime, if you're into beaches and water and fishing, it's your kind of place. It's 470 kilometers or so of coastline with 110 beaches. So there's something for everyone. No shortage of water sports and water activities. And if you're more into gastronomy, shopping, cultural activities, history, museums, cities like La Rochelle are the place where you want to be. And the city of La Rochelle actually dates back to the year 1000. So this is not new. This is not built in the old style. This actually is old, in case there was any question. So I'm just going to back up here and kind of show you what I mean. I'm in the shade here and I can see the screen. Amanda is asking, do I ever speak French during my broadcast? Amanda, I really don't, except for maybe saying hello, because my audience is English. I blog in English. My Facebook page is in English. I don't want to alienate anyone. So that is not something that would really make sense for my audience at this time. And I'll say one quick thing. Maybe some of you are familiar with volets. They're the shutters that you're seeing here. They're all white. And those are culturally significant in France. There are some guys just gave us the finger, but he didn't know where the camera was. Awesome. Had a beer in his hand. Excellent. So I was talking about volets. Here we go. The white shutters. And they're not just regular shutters. They actually have a cultural significance to be closed at night, open in the morning, and they help control the temperature. So a lot of homes don't have air conditioning. They have radiators, maybe not central heating. And in the summer, you don't really open your volets in the afternoon. You close them in the afternoon to keep the sun out. And likewise, in the winter, you want to open them up and get the heat in and the sun. And they come in all kinds, aluminum, different accordion style. They're not all wood like that, but in La Rochelle you'll see styles like that. Okay, we're gonna go in this store. It's a great touristy boutique, but not the cheap, junky stuff that you see, plastic stuff. Beautiful, beautiful pieces like tote bags and clothes. And it's a little dark in there, so let's see what we can see. But we'll just take a quick peek. I'm a sucker for great souvenirs in this store. Bonjour. This store is full of beautiful things. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're out there. Give me a red heart if you like anything. And anyone who's never been on a Facebook Live broadcast, I could see your comments in real time. So if you're watching now Saturday around 3:15, what you're typing is visible to me. So it's really fun when you all interact. So don't be shy. I'll just show you as we go around the store here. Here we go. Yeah, Philippe is saying in the summer, volets are usually closed in the summer when it's hot out to keep that heat from getting inside, since there's no air conditioning in most homes. Look at this, some nice jewelry, nice striped shirt that says La Rochelle. Just really interesting stuff. I just wanted to show you a little bit of this beautiful store. Okay. And something to note, whenever you go in a boutique in France, the one big rule I could tell you, let me just show you these very nice bags, is you always want to say bonjour. If you don't speak any French, say bonjour. You could say bonjour, bonjour. You say it with whatever accent you want. Just say it. Merci, bon après-midi. And when you leave, say goodbye, au revoir. And that's because it's very important in France to make sure you're acknowledging people. Now, that does not mean that when you walk into a giant shopping mall, you scream 60 feet away to the security guard, hey, bonjour. No. But if you walk into a store, a boutique, a restaurant, any place of business, and there's a person, you greet them, you say hello. That doesn't mean you need to have a big small talk conversation for the next hour. No, it just means, hey, I see you. I'm being polite, I'm gonna say hi. And I know that might sound like common sense, depending on where you live, where you're from. But a lot of times in the U.S., especially in bigger cities, we don't really say hi to people or thank you when we leave. So just a reminder, if you find yourself in France, you'll definitely want to make sure you say hello, just not to be perceived as rude. And I know sometimes we're self-conscious as foreigners. Maybe we don't speak French very well. If you want to hit it off on the right foot, be sure to say hello and goodbye. I'll just show you some of the facades here. Nice, huh? This is one of my favorite streets. And again, we're on Rue Saint-Nicolas. Okay. Ah, yes, Julia. Very nice bookstore. All kinds of interesting shops here. And some are high-end, some aren't in La Rochelle. So if you have a lot of money to spend, you'll find more than enough to satisfy your needs. And if you are looking for something maybe a little cheaper, just a nice little souvenir, there's no shortage of that either. I mean, as I forgot to tell you guys earlier, but you'll see some bikes that are marked yellow, Y-E-L-O, yellow. Yellow in French is jaune, but it's kind of spelled like that to mimic the English, yellow. And they are city bikes, kind of like city bikes in New York, or the Vélib bikes that were in Paris. And no, I forgot to show you a restaurant we ate at last night. I'm going to turn around and show you that. And the city bikes, you could rent them, the yellow, for an hour, for 2 hours, for the day. This is Prow, by the way. We've eaten here before. Great, fresh, local cuisine, and with really great service. In a really nice setting. Excellent food. It's just pointing that out at a reasonable price for two, with a little wine, with the appetizer and a main course. I think it was 60 euros. That was with wine for dinner for two. So yes, so those yellow bikes, they're significant. Not because they want to be trendy and they're like, oh, let's be like Paris or New York. No, they actually started that system in 1976. So La Rochelle is very much into an eco-friendly, active lifestyle. All right, we're going to check right, make sure there's no bikes. Check left, no bikes. And off we go. And I'll share a quick tip with you. Back when we were at the Brocante, I wanted to tell you. So if you want to get a little bit of a deal, maybe you're doing some shopping, you could haggle, maybe with 90% of the vendors. Maybe not by a lot, but enough. So let's say you want something that's 30 euros, but maybe you want to spend maybe 27, something like that. This is my tip, and I'll just show you the old port while we're on the bridge here as I'm explaining. What I like to do is you kind of walk by, scope everything out, and you see what you want to buy, and you see something, okay, it's 30 euros, I want to pay 27. Kind of duck into the corner for a second, go around the back, count out whatever you want to pay. Now you can't insult the person and say I'll give you 12 for something that's 30, but 27, that's reasonable. So count out about 25 euros. And then what I like to do is get some coins. So then when you go back, you could say, I'd really like to buy whatever this is, this bowl, but I don't know if I have 30, let me see. And I like making up excuses, start talking, distract the person. Take out your money and say, I have 25. Oh, let me see, 26, 26.50. Oh, I don't think I have 30. Oh, I only have 27. Is that okay? And they'll say, normally, sure, no problem. But you don't want to just show up with two bills of 20 and 40 and then say, I only want to pay 27, because then clearly you have enough money to pay the full price. So that's just my little tip. And of course, be respectful about it. Don't lowball anyone. Don't be rude by any means, but a few euros off something shouldn't be a problem. Just my little tip. So what we're coming up on here is a beautiful church. We're not going to go in, but I'm just going to show it to you here. I'm just going to pause and we'll take a look. This is the l'église du Saint-Sauveur, Saint Savior. Can you see? Let me see. I'm in the sun. I don't know if you're getting all the way up to the top. Let me see. Hopefully you see the whole church. Kind of shooting blind. Okay. And the church had kind of a storied history. It's been knocked down, burned down, destroyed about 3 times. So what we see here, I believe, was constructed 1718, I want to say, and that's what stands today. So it actually replaced a 12th century Romanesque church even before that, and was taken down in the religious conflicts in the 1560s. And then finally, and from that, just the bell tower, I believe, remains around back. We're not going to see that. But yeah, so what you're seeing here today is from 1718, and it's a beauty. Okay, so we're going to head back towards the old port. Okay. Thanks, Rich. Thanks for being here, guys. Again, anyone who doesn't know me, I'm the American behind the We in France Facebook page and blog. My name is Diane. So happy to have you here with me, guys. I know there's a lot to do, always stuff going on Facebook, so really appreciate you watching and being here with me and interacting. Thank you. And we're about 20 minutes into our foot tour here of La Rochelle on the Atlantic coast. And if you haven't liked my page, and you haven't shared this live stream, if I could ask you to do that, it would mean everything to me. Just trying to get the word out about what I'm doing here on Facebook and giving you a taste of everyday French life and beyond. Now, something I will recommend is whenever you're in a place in France, look for stores. This is if you like regional products and different interesting things that are native to the area. Look for a store that says produit or région, régional, or something like that. And it's just going to be a wealth of fun products, even if you're not shopping, just to look. And we're going to pop in here and see what we have. So, La Rochelle, the Charente-Maritime, bonjour. They're known for all kinds of things. On the Ile de Ré, the fleur de sel. There we go. Julia's asking, was the church damaged in World War II? I believe most of the damage was hundreds of years ago. I don't know if it experienced superficial damage in World War II. That's something I'll get back to you about, Julia, because I don't know the whole history. I know a bit about La Rochelle just from visiting and doing tours with guides, but I don't live here, so let me get back to you. I just don't want to misspeak on that and tell you the wrong things. Okay, so some more salt. All right. I'm going to take you a little deeper into the store. If you see any products you like, give me a red heart. Let me know that you're still out there. It's a weird concept to kind of talk to yourself with a microphone and a stabilizer and a camera walking around a town. You get some people doing strange things, especially when everyone's out and about. So the comments really do help, guys. It makes me feel a little more at ease. And there's a store that you'll see. It's a chain. There's some in Brittany, different areas. The Belle Illoise, I believe it's called. And they have all kinds of sardines, like the ones you're seeing here. Sardines with all different aromas. And that was something that was new to me when I moved to France. You know, you think of tuna in oil or water, or just sardines. Not really something I ate much of. And then you come to France, and you're like, oh, wow, look at that. Sardines with the tapenade, with olives, pimentos, olive oil. What do we have up here? Oh, ones with tomatoes. Look at that. Beautiful, right? And then there's some fish soups and bisques. But something that I want to show you before we head back outside, because I still have a lot to show you, is this product that the woman actually told me about when I came in to introduce myself. It's a product native to the Marais Poitevin, the marshlands, just a short drive outside of La Rochelle here in the Charente-Maritime. It's this beautiful green plant called Angelique, or Angelica in English. And I'll zoom in. And what it is, it's, I guess, you know, it's a plant, right? It grows in the ground, but it's a medicinal plant. It's used for all different types of things, with flavorings. It's kind of like an aloe vera type of plant where it's used in different types of products. Here there's all types of food products, candies, jelly, and the liquor. And the funny thing is that apparently the candies, the usage of Angelica and candy was apparently first used that way by the nuns in the town of Niort. Niort is not too far from here, actually, a little bit south. And apparently the liquor, the Angelica put in the liquor, was coined by the monks. And here they have little cookies and all types of things with that same plant. And the woman up front, she let me taste some, and it was really mild, really good. So I highly recommend that if you find yourself in La Rochelle or the Charente-Maritime. Try an Angelica product. And here are just some more cookies. Biscuits. Yeah, I can't get enough of these stores. So again, you really can't go wrong wherever you are in France. Look for products of the region store, and you'll discover all kinds of delicacies. Merci, bon après-midi. You'll see, au revoir. You'll see all kinds of beautiful things to buy. All right, so we're gonna keep walking, and we're gonna hang a right here. For anyone just joining, we're going to end up at the end of this broadcast by the Grosse Horloge, the big clock. But we're going to hang a right and head around back so I could show you some more of the beautiful Atlantic coast city of La Rochelle. And as you'll see, just everyone's out and about, out on the terrace. And before we turn, again, this is the Vieux Port. And that tower on the left, right here, guarding the way to the port here. We have the Tour Saint-Nicolas on the left, the taller of the two. And on the right, we have the Tour de la Chaîne. And at night, there's a big chain. I don't know if it's still done now, but in historic times, that big chain was kind of brought to connect the two to keep the boats out. This is a very busy street here, guys, so just forgive me. There's little steps. I'm going to try to make my way up without getting in anyone's way. So if you know things about La Rochelle, I already told you the city dates back to the year 1000. By the way, the Ernest Glacier for ice cream. This place is excellent. I think I might go there later. So La Rochelle dates back to about the year 1000. And if you're a history buff, the siege of La Rochelle was a major deal because the city was pretty much demolished in about 1627. And of course, that was a religious feud, as they often are, Protestants and the Catholics. But as you could see, the city was rebuilt in the late 1600s, 1694, 95. La Rochelle was a huge site for trading in the Caribbean. Things like, let's see, salt, wine, I think even fur. And I'll show you where that kind of stuff took place in a little while. All right, I'm just going to pop in the shade so I could show you what I want to show you here. Okay, so what we have here, if you guys were with me when we went to Angers, or if you've been to Brittany and parts of Normandy, You know that these half-timbered houses are pretty popular. And I'll let you take a good look at this. Do you notice anything that might be a little different about this one? And I'll just tell you, these houses, they're medieval houses from medieval times. Again, nothing here in La Rochelle was built to look this way just for fun. These are actually old buildings because they're old, not built in old style. I heard someone say that once. Oh, look, they built them to look like old buildings. No, they're actually old. And these half-timbered houses, they go back to anywhere between the 15th and 18th century. I don't know the date of this one in particular. But what I'll say, I don't know if the way the sun's hitting it, you could tell. But the timber, the wood, you'll see it's covered in little slates. That's called ardoise in French. And it's covering the wood. So this is a half-timbered home, but the wood is covered by slate. Anyone out there, do you know why that might be? I'm going to let you think about that for a second while the comments lag. Maybe someone wants to put that answer in the comments, whoever's the chouchou of the class here. Why is the wood covered by slate, unlike a lot of the half-timbered houses we see in France? Let me know about that, and I'll report back. Okay, we're going to hang a left. I'll give you a minute to type out the answer there. It's very logical. It's nothing weird. And the next thing, we're going to pop into a pâtisserie chocolaterie. A very nice one called Dijali, or Dijali. A very nice owner who, again, all the places we're stopping into, they've okayed this. I don't like sneaking up on anyone or popping a camera in front of their face on live video. So we're going to go in here and I'm going to show you some excellent things. Lisa, Leslie, you guys are good. I knew you guys would know the answer. Yeah, because we're right on the coast here. A lot of the air, you could even smell it when we're down by the old port. You could smell the sea air, so it protects the wood since it is hundreds of years old. The slate covers that and acts as a protective barrier from the elements. So awesome, guys. You know your stuff. All right, so who wants to go into Jolly? I hope you guys give me some red hearts. Let me know if you want to go in. I want to go in, so I hope you guys do as well. So give me a red heart, and if I see a few of those hit my screen, we are going in. Ooh, I see some red hearts. Okay, we're going in. You win. Good. Thanks, guys. I really wanted to go. So here we are, this artisan chocolatier, and you'll see different types of confectionaries on the left. We have all kinds of macaroons in front of us, and we'll take a look at all this stuff for a few minutes before we move on, because this is the place. And then we have chocolate on the right. So I'm going to do a little loop of the shop. I posted on Instagram about the macaron, and a lot of you like the rose ones, which are the light pink here on the left of the screen. My favorites are actually the pistachio, which are the green, right down in front. Let me know what your favorites are. They have some that are a little more, I don't know, artisan, right? For lack of a better word, since we are in an artisan shop. Guys, I think we just had a bad signal for a second. I'm going to try to go back in, but if that happens again, I'm just going to make a quick loop and we're going to go back outside because I am moving, right? So I don't have a Wi-Fi connection with a router or anything like we do in our house. So let me go left and see what I can show you. Hey, Kathy, welcome. And I'm just going to show you real quick here the pâte de fruits, which is apparently very good. I didn't buy any of the pâte de fruits from here, but I think I should. All different flavors here. And so if anyone's curious about the price, it's €5 for 100 grams, and 100 grams is not that much. A pound is about 500 grams. So I hope you guys can see this. There's a little bit of a lag, so when the signal goes out, I don't know for about 10 seconds, but I want to make sure you see everything. In France, Easter candy is big, and luckily it's on sale now that Easter is over. You could still get a beautiful bunny, all kinds of excellent things. Merci encore. I'm going to show you over here the chocolates. Let me see what the price is on these. They're made with Valrhona chocolates, apparently. It's marked there. And the thing is, so French chocolates, yes, they're expensive. But when I buy French chocolates, I eat maybe just one, not the whole box, because they're so savory and rich, and you just want to, ooh, look at this, tiramisu chocolate. You just one or two max, you know, you're not going to eat the whole box because you want to, well, maybe you will, but you want to savor the flavor as much as you can. and they're satisfying and just excellent. So for me, if I spend 20 euros on a small box of chocolate, it's definitely going to last more than the weekend. And there are just some pastries there on our way out. Nice. All right, before the signal goes out again, let's get back into the air of the city. Hello, little puppy. Lots of dogs around. I love seeing that. Most of the time they're allowed in restaurants and stores as long as there's, not the grocery store. Merci, bonne journée. I almost said bonsoir. It's not night yet. Okay. And something you'll notice in La Rochelle is most of the buildings are white, and the light just reflects off of them beautifully depending on the time of day. So let me just pan up, and I'll show you what I mean. It's maybe 3:30, 3:40, around there. And just beautiful, beautiful architecture. And I'm going to show you a little more of that as we head up here on the Hôtel de Ville, in the post office. Never seen such a beautiful post office in the U.S., so stuff like this, even after 6 years here, I'm still wowed. Here's a shoe store called Héros. Some nice things. Some shoes for you. And a few more stores. And there's a street artist who is making a mural on the ground here. Looks like he's doing the two towers, Saint-Nicolas and the Tour de la Chaîne. Beautiful work. Now, we're coming up on the Hôtel de Ville, and although it's spelled Hotel de Ville, it is not a hotel of the town. The Hôtel de Ville is a town hall in France. So if you see that, don't get confused that it's a hotel. It's the town hall, and it has all kinds of, they do administrative things in there, renew your passport, depending on the town hall, different types of meetings for the town reps. And here it is. And let me just show you. And what you're going to notice right away is that there's some kind of construction going on. And it's almost 5 years now that the Hôtel de Ville was taken down by a horrible fire. So they're reconstructing it. And the reason why it takes so long is, one, it's a huge amount of work, and two, it's very specialized work. I'm going to show you on the other side special workers that have to cut the stone in a very specific way to restore the beautiful Hôtel de Ville to what it was before. And here's just a little information about that fire that ravaged the whole place really bad. That was in June of 2013. And then before, I just mentioned this post office to my left. Let me turn around. And you could just see, look at that, beautiful. It says Poste et Telegraphe. I don't know exactly how old the building is, but you could just see the architectural style and how gorgeous it is. I can't go back, I'm sorry. I don't know if you say your name, I'm going to mispronounce it. I'm sorry, Magdalene. But the replay is going to post to my page at the end. So you can take a look on the replay. Just I have so much to show you guys that I just don't want this to go on too long. There we go, some more beautiful buildings. And we're coming up on the side of the Hôtel de Ville. Construction. And what's here? Of course, more cafes and restaurants. Excellent, excellent. So the masonry work, again, it's very, very specialized work. So you could kind of see the materials here. No one's working today because it is Saturday. But you could just see part of the workshop and what's going on. And you'll see the types of tools that are used to shape the stones into their former glory. And hopefully that'll be done in the next, I don't know exactly when, but next couple of years. We're gonna turn left. And you're gonna see a store across the way here, the Stade Rochelle Boutique Officielle. And that's a store with rugby memorabilia. And you kind of know when you're getting to the south of France, the southwest of France, because rugby is more popular than soccer. Not that the soccer teams suck, nothing like that, but rugby teams tend to be strong. There are so many rugby fans, so you kind of know when you see less soccer teams and more in the way of rugby memorabilia and that stuff, that you're in the southwest of France. So we're going to continue on. We're going to continue on, and you're going to see the architectural style here in La Rochelle. These archways, they're called arcades. And these arcades, they're significant because they protect you from the weather. So back in trade times, the tradesmen would set up shop. Now there are stores on the ground level, but maybe they would set up their wares, their salt, their fur for sale. And if it was raining or there was a storm, not only were they protected, but their goods and their customers were protected as well. So of course that architecture has been retained. And now it adds a whole lot of authentic charm to the city. And mixed with the beautiful white facades and the shutters and the way the sun hits La Rochelle. Merci, pardon. It's really special. So I'll just give you a look down the street here. And we'll see more in the way of these archways. And I don't know if you could see over the car here to the right. There's a big blue door. And you kind of see there's two levels to the door. Back in the olden days, they would open up the whole entire door for horse-drawn carriages. And they were extremely tall, so that's why they couldn't just fit on the bottom part. Now, if a car needs to go in, they'll just open the bottom part, no problem. But they would open all the way up so the really tall carriages could get through. And they're really special now. I just love looking at them. You'll see them kind of a few streets over. We're not going to go check out the doors. There's another real estate agency here with a very beautiful place in the Charente-Maritime in the Ile de Ré. Look at the price tag on that. 1.4 million euros with a gorgeous pool. Beautiful house. And we'll keep walking here in the shade, heading back towards the Grosse Horloge. Yeah, it is busy. So La Rochelle is always pretty busy, but you know, we have to keep in mind this is the first nice day. Oh gosh, in months. It's just rain, rain, and more rain. And this seems to be, we're not going to go in, I didn't ask, but there is a woman who, I guess she makes furniture, mirrors, different types of light fixtures, curtains. You'll see a lot of shops like this in La Rochelle, in addition to places like Zara, H&M. And earlier, again, when I was talking about saying bonjour, if you walk into H&M and there's no security guard or anyone greeting you, again, you know, in a chain store, a big shop, you don't need to yell bonjour to the person 20 feet away. But in shops like this and everything you're seeing when you walk in, it is customary to say hello and goodbye. Now we're going to turn left. And I think I might just pause here on the side while you're kind of watching the action on the street, just to look if there were any questions. I don't want to ignore everyone. So let me I'll point you at the street. You could move over a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on here and just kind of appreciate the view before we head on with the rest of our walk and end up back at the old port. So let me see. I'm just going to scroll up real quick. And for anyone who doesn't know me, I'll just turn the camera around real quick. It's Diane. Hello, and I'm the blogger behind We in France, Facebook page and blog if we've never met. And again, we're in La Rochelle. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this back around so you can watch the street while I take a look at the questions real quick. If anyone had a question that I didn't see, feel free to ask me again. Let's see, I think I saw everything, some commentary. Okay, I think we're okay. Okay, if you have any questions that maybe I didn't see, or you have a question now about something I've said or shown you, please, I'm in the shade. Feel free to type it below and I'll answer that before we continue along. And again, I just can't get enough of this architecture. I'll show you up here. Just look at these buildings. They're pretty in the winter too, but I don't know, something about spring and summer. It just always has me in awe. La Rochelle is a special place, so highly recommend you come and visit, in case that wasn't clear. And, okay. Guys, I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I don't want to stand here too long and wait for your questions. Maybe you don't have any. Up here comes an ambulance. There he goes. All right, we're going to turn left. Nice and easy. Don't want to walk into anyone. We'll cross the street and we'll walk on the other side. Why don't we do that? So, gonna turn left and right. Make sure there are no bikes or cars. Yeah, Geraldine, such lovely boutiques, right? And you're spoiled because I know you live either in La Rochelle and not far. And again, this is a great picture here of the archways, what I was talking about earlier, the arcade. Just that beautiful stone architecture that's been preserved from hundreds of years ago. Nice, right? So we'll just take advantage here of the nice shade since it is pretty warm here today. So something you'll notice when we were walking by the cafes and the restaurants, so a lot of places in France, especially touristy places on nice days, they serve food all day, but you have to be careful about that. In places that aren't touristy, little villages, smaller towns, meal service really gets wrapped up by 2:30. So if you wake up late, you want a lunch around 3:30 or 4, you can't expect every restaurant to be open. They just don't have a cook working all day. So just be aware of that. Again, in Paris, it's not really a problem. Something will be open. Here in La Rochelle, a lot of places will be open. But in smaller towns, not everything is open for meal service all day. And then dinner usually wouldn't start before 7. 7:30, 8 is the norm. But you can grab a drink, maybe even some finger food. So now if I wanted to go get a glass of wine, that's no problem, or a soda or juice or beer, whatever you want. So that's what all the people are doing out on the terrace. They're not necessarily having a meal, but they're having a drink. So some of you might notice the store to the left, La Rochelle's Galerie Lafayette. Big department store that you might know from Paris. There's one in Angers that we saw last month. I'm trying to get a good shot for you, but there are people in cars. We're not going to go in because I know I will not have service in there, but it's a beautiful boutique with all kinds of brands, a lot of French brands, makeup, clothes. If you want to do some shopping, definitely check that out. Yeah, Philippe, I mentioned the aquarium when we first started, and that's a great place to check in La Rochelle. Whether you're an adult or a kid, there's something for everyone. It's one of the biggest private aquariums in Europe. So you'll want to check that out. And just as we're walking, I'll show you the beautiful facades of the building. Just as the light's hitting it here at 3:50 or so p.m. Oh, yeah. There we go. Lots of people out and about. So great to see. Oh, and here's a little doggy on the right. He's out too. And there's a Monoprix grocery store here on the right. We can't go in because once you go in, you have to go downstairs. And again, there's no service downstairs. But I know you guys are fans of Monoprix. So we're coming up on that grosse horloge that I told you about. That's the structure and the far end of the shot. We're getting there. And if you find yourself in a French city, there's this place called La Micaline. And I don't want to say it's nothing special, but it's a chain. And my dad loves their sandwiches. He got a chicken sandwich on a baguette in Saumur and still talks about it to this day. It's just, decent, quick food at a decent price. You could pop in there for a cookie, a sandwich, just if you're wondering what that is. We're going to let this car pass and we're going to cross the street. Here we go. All right, just going to dodge a few people here. I'm going to show you a bit. We're coming up on the back of that grosse horloge, the big clock, but I'm going to take you out on the other side to step back and show you the front. And I'll just show you behind me real quick as we're walking, just to show you where we came from. Excellent. And if anyone just joined us, it would help me out so much if you hit share while we are still live, just to help spread the word here that I'm doing these everyday Life in France and Beyond broadcasts. So if you don't mind, hit share. And again, if you're watching on the replay or maybe you have to hop off, this will post to the top of the We in France Facebook page. So hit like and then pop over to the page when we are done. And you could check that out or go back to the beginning for parts that maybe you missed. This store is the one I mentioned earlier, La Belle Illoise, with all types of sardines and canned things. And they're beautiful cans too. Even the packaging is gorgeous. Okay, I'm just going to get over here to the safety of the other side of the sidewalk. Check out the cobblestone streets. Not great if you're in heels, so keep that in mind if you're doing a bit of walking in La Rochelle. There are cobblestones. We're just going to back up. Kind of show you the main drag here on the quay that lines the old port, the marina. And then we're going to head left, and I am going to show you La Grosse Horloge, the big clock. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So it's considered the gateway to the city of La Rochelle. You know, you walk through and then you're in the old town. And the base of this giant clock dates back to the 14th century. So again, La Rochelle is extremely rich in history, like so many places in France. And even if you're not a history buff, you can still appreciate this stuff when you see it in person. I mean, I know it probably looks pretty spectacular on video, but when you're here standing in front of it, it's just wow. And just to note, the horloge, this did survive the siege that I spoke about earlier in 1627, 28. Most of it, anyway. Although I believe the turrets were replaced about 100 years later, replaced by a dome, that type of thing. Now, the statue that's right in front of us, that is Admiral, let me see, I want you to get a space, so I'm going to walk this way. That is Admiral Duperret, and he's a very well-respected, very important French Navy admiral. And the statue just marks his contributions. I think we're going to be right in the sun, try to get his face. There he is. It's all right. And I'm just going to show you over here by the port. There are all kinds of course, restaurants, terraces, merchants setting up shops for the day, people just hanging out in the shade. And I'm just going to walk over to the port on the side to show you one last thing, and then I'll answer any questions maybe that you might have. So from here at the Vieux Port in La Rochelle, you can take a ferry for a tour, or you can take the ferry to get to places like the Île d'Oléron, which is just a short trip in the Atlantic. There's also something called Fort Boyard, and you might be familiar with the TV show. It's kind of a mix of Fear Factor if you watch American TV with different challenges. There's teams. You know, it's a reality show that takes place in this old fortress in the middle of the ocean, still to this day, and it's the most widely exported French television program. Very, very popular. And I believe the ferry will take you over there so you could see, and it boards over here just to my right, but in front of you. I don't think you go in because, you know, they have the TV crews and all of that, but you could see it. And if you Google Fort Boyard, you'll see exactly what I mean. Very interesting place and an interesting TV show. And I don't remember if I mentioned it, but La Rochelle is a very green city. As we went over the bikes, the yellow bikes, they had a car-free day. I don't know exactly what year that was, but it's a long time ago. Just people walking and out and about. So they're big on biodiversity, the natural sanctuaries, all of that. Not far from La Rochelle in the Charente-Maritime, there's all types of mussel farming. We visited a mussel museum last year, and really beautiful. You can get so many local products. And at restaurants, all the local produce, fish. And this is just a shot of the old port. Here we go. Just giving you the full view here. And then again, we saw earlier the tour of St. Nicholas, and the chain tower, La Chaîne. That's the shorter one on the right. So let me know if you have any questions, everyone. If you enjoyed my broadcast, give me a thumbs up, a red heart. Let me know. Feel free to comment. And again, the replay is going to post in just a few minutes. I should also mention La Rochelle is home to a film festival every year, and also a music fest called the Francophonie. And folie in French means kind of crazy, you know. And it's very crazy in La Rochelle during that giant music festival. It started in 1984 and is something that people flock to La Rochelle for. Okay. So this is the old port. I don't know if we have any questions. Let me just see. I know there's a delay, so I'm just going to keep the shot here on the old port. I'll turn it around real quick. If you want me to do a big 360 selfie style here. Everyone, it means so much to me if you hit like on my page if you haven't already, and then you shared this broadcast. I hope to do more of these, a lot more of the Beyond. Tom and I, we're heading south next month at the end of May. I won't tell you where just yet, but I hope to do a few more of the everyday French life and beyond from down there. It is near water, that's all I'll say for now. And hopefully back when we're in the Maine-et-Loire, we'll go to Saumur, one of my favorite places not far from where I live. And if you haven't checked out my old videos, it's all linked in the description box. So we went to the market, went to the supermarket and the French market, farmer's market, went to Angers, all different things. And, oh, can you see? You know what? I just saw a comment. Someone said, is that Dagny? And my screen, I have polarized sunglasses on and the sun is blocking the screen. So yes, if you see a little black dog, that is Dagny. If you heard a dog barking earlier in the broadcast, just kind of maybe when we were kind of by that rugby store, that's because Tom went on a walk just so they wouldn't be walking with me because I move slower than she does. And we kind of crossed each other. That wasn't supposed to happen. So she's like, hey, Mom, where are you going? Hey. So yeah, that is Dagny. So again, this was live from La Rochelle here in the Charente-Maritime. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Hope you had a nice walk and hope you're enjoying your day. Thank you again, as always, for your support. And I'll see you next time, all right? Thanks again. Bye.